Alrighty, ad break should now be over. So, I wanted to share my thoughts about the games that I played, just kind of catching up on the series, because we've just completed the Bs. I will say, Bs did a lot worse than the As. So, in total, I'll also mention that we had a couple of A's that were kind of played in the B group, due to there were some games that I hadn't actually activated the Steam keys by mistake. So I'll just kind of go through all of them. For Aces and Adventures, great. I've put in 19.9 hours. AI Somnium Files, I've been playing a lot more recently. I've got 13.7 hours in that game, and I've actually gotten 2 of the endings recently. I'm not done with it yet, but we're working on it, and I'm enjoying that a lot. Armello is the big winner with 29.3 hours, so that's been doing great too. Games that I've played a little bit less, but have still replayed, have been Alina of the Arena with 4.3 hours. That was the Battler Arena Hex deck builder. And The Amazing American Circus, I've put in 3.7 hours. That was the deck builder where you were like a circus troupe and performing rather than killing, so it was kind of like a nice non-violent option. And Arcade Spirits, which was the visual novel where you are working in a game arcade where the arcade crash never happened, so it's like cyberpunk, but also there are like romantic options and stuff. I put 4.2 hours into that game. Games that I have not replayed since I streamed them, even though I left them still installed, are Ambition and Minuet and Power, and Aviary Attorney. Both of those are a little bit more narrative-driven games, and I think I will get back to them eventually. It's just right now, when I'm playing a narrative-driven game, I'm doing AI Somnium Files. So probably once I finish that, I will come back around to those. Apico, which was the bee crafting game, I originally was like, I might come back to that. I did eventually uninstall it. I don't like crafting games. I just don't like them. And that's a valuable thing that I have learned from this series. Yeah, and then Angel Wings, Aground, Air, and Abzu were all uninstalled from before. So then, compare that to the bees, in which I have only 3 games that I have played since the stream. Banners of Ruin, which was the deck builder that has the animal characters. That I have done for 3 hours. Battle Bands, which is a deck builder that you earn points by like playing a concert or whatever, so it's like music themed. That one I put in 4.8 hours. And Blood Rage, which is the board game, like digitized board game about Ragnarok, I put 2.6 hours in that. Batman, the Telltale Batman series, I have not replayed it, but I think, again, because it's narrative focused, I may come back to it later. And then finally, All You Can Eat, I completed that game. It was so short, so that's an uninstall, but I also completed it. And it was a fun little game for $2. Would recommend on sale, because it's very short. It was like 40 minutes, maybe. And then Bull Boy, I think I'm gonna uninstall, but only because it's just not my aesthetic. I do think that if it is your aesthetic, like if you liked what you saw today, I felt like the interaction was pretty good, in terms of the interface. The art was very interesting. It obviously just has that kind of horror vibe, which I'm just not super into. But I do think that it's like a well-built game. I like that it had hints. So I would recommend it. It's just not for me. And now we'll run through the big list of games that I just uninstalled. So Autonauts, which again was kind of like from before. I uninstalled that for being frustrating. Beyond Blue, it's a lesser Abzu, and I got motion sickness from it. Beyond Two Souls, motion sickness. The Block was like a less good version of Dorfromantik. I would recommend just getting Dorfromantik instead. Broken Age was boring. It was really intended more for kids, I think. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, I uninstalled that for just being frustrating. I didn't like that the puzzles didn't really make sense to me. It's like, well, why can't I jump over this fence? You know, the ankle-high fence is the bane of protagonists everywhere, you know? It just really kind of took me out of it. And in addition, just the controllers, only being able to use a controller is just too hard on my hands. So that one was just... But also seems like a very, you know, pretty game. If you like that kind of puzzle game, and you don't have hand problems from controllers, you know, could be worth a get. Black Book, I uninstalled for being overly complex. If you want something that, like, has 4 different mechanics, Black Book might be the thing for you. Because you have the deck building, you have the, you know, roguelike choose your own path, you have, like, the interactions with people and, like, choices matter, and, like, you also have read the lore to do your homework so that you know the right answers to give people. So it was just kind of a lot. Oh, and I forgot, there's also this sending your... If you take on demons, you have to, like, send them places in order to do things so that they don't curse you. Like, there was just a lot. There was a lot to that game, and I was just like, I feel like I'm working when I play this game. So, yeah. But if you're just like, I need to be doing 4 different things when playing a game, it was, well, it seemed like it was well made. Just too overly complex for me. We also have Bitburner, which I just found boring. I think if I want to program, I'll actually program. But it might be nice for people who are not really into programming and, like, want to have an introduction to it, because it seemed like very simplified. Hello, certified lover boy. We're just going over the games that we played this month-ish, month and a half. And then we had Beyond Eyes. That one was another kind of puzzler, like you had to progress. I would say that game is very beautiful, but I got stuck and it was kind of boring. And unlike Bull Boy, there weren't really any hints to try to progress. So I just uninstalled it. And then Beasts of Maravilla Island, I uninstalled for being boring. If I want to take pictures of stuff, I'll play Pokemon Snap. Like old Pokemon Snap, even. But yeah, I didn't really care for that. So yeah. A's went a lot better than the B's. But that was Unplayed for the B's. So that's where we're at, and we're gonna be moving on to the C's starting next week.